everyone, I have received this lovely gift in the post, actually as part of a little package, together with some lovely Prismacolor blending pencils. I'm showing you this one. This isn't the one I received, the colourless ones, because mine are getting so short. So I've been sent a couple of new ones, which is fantastic. I think my one next door is even shorter, so it'll be lovely. But these set of lovely pens, these are Gelly Rolls. You know I like my Gelly Roll Sakura, but this is the Moonlight set, so these are coloured. There are two Moonlight sets, I think, or there's a Cosmos set or something like that, but these are called Moonlight. So if you're looking for them once you've seen this review, I will have a link in the description. Make sure you get the right ones, unless you prefer the others, obviously. Now these are fine, so they're 0.6, which is quite a fine line, and which is 0.35 mils. Now the other Sakuras that I have, the 5, I have a white one, the 5, it's really quite fine. The 8 is sort of what I would say average, and the 10 is a bit bigger. So they are fine, but that's okay. Now I was recommended these for doing things like flower centres, things like that, and I can see that some of these paler ones might be good for that. But we get 12 pens. It says constant flow of ink. My experience with them is that they do block up occasionally, some Sakuras, but normally they're quite good, but the finer tips are a little trickier. It says intense colour, light fast and won't fade. And on the back we've got a little bit of information. It says they're for fine lines on black, coloured and white paper. Special quick drying water-based pigment gel ink for intense and non-fading colour, a consistent ink flow creating bright colours and fine lines, perfect for detailed drawing, lettering, journaling and more. Store them horizontally with the cap on. That's interesting. I guess if you store them like that, then the ink goes down to the bottom. If you store them flat, I tend to store pens flat in their packets, so I'm obviously doing the right thing. Should we grab them out? It's open out the top. How do we get in? Or do we get in the bottom? I don't know how I get in my others. I think my others are already open. Just trying to work out what to do here. I don't want to rip it. Oh, I see. There's a little piece, I think, tucked in. Oh, there we go. And then we can lift up the top and take them out. Okay. I'm going to actually slip out the piece of card because it'll be a little bit easier to see them. So we have, let's take them all out. Now they have, I'm just saying, let's have a look. We have a barcode, we have a number, a hashtag and a number like you do on the others. So you can identify them by that number. Let's take them all out. It'll be quicker. Now, because it says it can write on black and white paper, I've grabbed something which is black so we can try them out. Now, I'm not sure that this one's going to show up very well on the black, but I thought we would have a go. So there are the pens. It's quite an interesting range of colour. You know, there's no red, for example. Let's just pop them on here. I'm trying to keep them in order they're in the packet. I don't know why, but anyway. This colour is that colour is particularly nice. Now you can buy these open stock on Amazon, so if there's one particular colour that you like, then you could do that. So that's interesting. Now what I'm going to do is I have this, this is from Elegant Elephants Night and Day, so you've got black and white bits. And what I thought I would do was colour in some of these little bits, like this circle or this whatever, and then we can colour over the white and the black and just see how it looks. I thought it would be an interesting way to do it. They'll come in a bit closer because it's quite fine detail. And start with this one. So this one is number 438. Okay, I'm going to do this little circle. So I'm going to go around the edge. Whoops, you can see it's just about as fine as the line. The colour is quite intense, but it doesn't show up massively because of the black. And I'm going to fill in that middle bit. We can see how it sits on the black. That's good. It covers it over. So yeah, it's going to work on black, and actually it does show up better than I thought in the camera. It's showing it better. I think it might be because it's wet, it's catching the light, I'm not sure. So there's our first one. Oh, my son's making a lot of noise. This one is a sort of lilac-y colour, I think. It's number 423. I'm just checking it. That's not the same colour because paranoia. We'll do this bit. It's quite like a grey lavender, I think. And then fill that in. So it really does just, whoops, block right over the black. So it looks no different if it's on top of black or white, which I think is good. There's that one. Now we have, this is a sort of plummy colour, I think. This is number 422. And what I'm going to do on this page is make it symmetrical with the colours. Oh, it's quite dark actually. It's more like a burgundy. Even though it looks a bit plummy, I guess it does. Yeah. Now this colour I really like. It looks like a sort of turquoise. It's number 431. Let's do this big one. And actually I thought it might be a bit too fine, but look how well, if I just try and cover that white, it's just the perfect size. If you're a bit neater than me, to cover that. But I'm going to colour in that as well because that's how we've been doing it. So very nice coverage. Oops, I'm trying to colour over wet and I've ended up taking it off. It's how it always works. It's not, and that needs going over again, but it's my fault, not the pen. So now we have this sort of pale blue, number 425. They seem to look paler in the camera than they do to my eye, but I don't know whether that's just me. My camera screen is very small. So there is the pale blue. That's a nice colour, isn't it? Now I wonder how well, whoops, it will cover the black because it's so pale. I think it might need a couple of coats to, I can see the difference between the bit that's got the black under and the bit that's got the white under with this particular one. I haven't with any of the others, but that's okay. It looks quite chalky, you know, I like that actually. Then we have this sort of limey green, number 432. And we're going to move across this way because I'm going to do this side symmetrical with that side. Ooh. Oh, I like that colour. It's one of my favourite sort of greeny tones, sort of yellowy olive. I think I'm ending up taking quite a bit off where I'm going over. I've missed bits. There we go. They definitely do rye on the black, so I think need 2 coats. I might go back and do some in a minute once we've gone through all the pens. This one, which is a sort of more turquoise green, the other one was more of a turquoise blue. This is number 428. I'm going to do this circle. It's not more, no, it's more of a mid-green. I like that colour. It's so much nicer than the Posca green. There we go. Now we have a sort of brownish colour. Brownish grey, like a French grey almost. Number 417, I'm curious of this one. Oh, it's a bit dark. Again, I struggle to see it. I've got to continue with this because I've started, but it's really quite a bit too dark to go on top of this black. I thought some of them might be. Yeah, can't really see that. Hang on. I was thinking actually, let me get a piece of, oops. Let me just scribble on here so you can just see the colour. It isn't black, it's a very dark brown. You can see it on there a little bit, you can see that it's not black. There you go. I was thinking when I was just preparing for this video how, you know, this was sent to me as a gift from Lovely Beth and how it made me feel so special. Like, I want to do the corner, but I'm going to smudge this, although it says it's quick drying. It does look dry. Should I dare it? Should I dare? So this is sort of orangey maybe for 1, 2. It was making me think about how in sort of Victorian novels you read about people having like a benefactor who sends them money and gifts and things, and that's how I feel when I get sent something like someone's looking out for me and looking after me and spoiling me. It's so special. And it's like there's no other job where that happens. I mean, obviously other jobs you get paid a salary, it's a bit different, but it you know, it just makes you feel really, I don't know, special. So thank you, Beth. That's really lovely. And to everyone else who's done that too. This is quite a sort of rusty colour. It looks a bit pink in the camera, but it's not. It's more orangey brown. Like it. Now I'm hoping this is a sort of green gold or goldish. This is 415. I'm gonna do. I want to do the centre. Yeah, let's go for it. Oh no, it's quite brown, isn't it? It's not. It's not yellowy. But it's still quite a nice warm tone. Like that. Now we have a pale grey here, which is number 440, and I'm going to use that here. Oh yeah, that really shows up, doesn't it? So basically, because the gel is so thick, it just covers everything. So that's quite worth knowing. Sometimes it's nice to have something slightly see-through, but I wouldn't expect a pen to be like that. I would expect a pencil to be like that. Now lastly we have this grey. Now I think this is going to be another quite dark one. I think I'm going to use it here. I know we haven't got any black, but it's going to disappear. You can see it's not quite black. But there we go. Now I'm going to go over the top of this. It was this blue one that really stood out as not quite covering very well. So I think it's my colouring technique. So I'm going to go over the top of it now with another layer. And I'm confident that I can tidy up a bit. Sorry, hard concentration. I think we're nearly there. You can see the wet bits and the dry bits. And yeah, so that's a really interesting range of colour. I can see some of them being really, really useful, like this one would look nice for highlights on flowers or flower centres, and that is a really lovely green as well. The dark ones could be quite useful because sometimes I want a dark colour to sort of dot on something. I'm just going to redo this one too. And I sort of don't want to quite go black. So now I've got this sort of dark brown, which is actually a really interesting shade. And I have the dark grey as well. So, you know, I've got a bit of a mix of colours. I'm just going to use this sort of goldy brown around here. So, yeah, they are very... Now, something I do find with all Sakura pens is they're very, very wet. I know that sounds odd, but some pens, gel pens, some cheaper gel pens that I've tried were quite dry, and even some were dried up. And when I had their castles, I'll tell you which ones they are. When I bought the Castle Art set, they have a really, really cheap set, but it was a set of 100. There's about 4 of them were dry when I got them, and then some of them were quite dry and some of them were wet. And I find the same with my husband's got a set of Arteza. I'm not doing this very neatly. It's got a set of Arteza fine liners, I think Ink Tonic or something, and some of them are really dry and some of them are really wet, and it's very odd. Whereas these, you don't get that. There's consistency, although in my experience of using the whites, as they dry up, I mean, you know, as you use them up, they do get drier, which makes perfect sense as there's less paint or gel inside them. But they are covering nicely. I am a bit messy in my non-skill. But there we go. So there is what I've done. That grey is so bright. My camera is struggling, I think, a little bit with all these different colours, but there we are. So you can, this looks fluorescent in my camera, but it isn't really. It's just a really pretty yellowy green. So there are all the colours for you that I've tried out. I will complete this page. My plan is to do all pens around the edge and then colour the elephants in pencil. I'll share a copy of it with you, hopefully, if it turns out nice. You'll see it in my completed pages anyway, because I never hide anything. So if I make mistakes, I still show you, because you know, I think it's important to be honest and let you know that not everything is going to be perfect, or nothing's perfect anyway, but some things are going to be better than others. So anyway, there are those. So thank you, Beth. I'm very pleased. I'm excited to think about where to use them more. As I say, I can already think of some that I'm going to be using, you know, and these pages actually going over these white lines in colour pen is really good. It's quite difficult to get into them with a pencil, and the fact that they're the perfect width for a pen is brilliant for these pens. Anyway, but that's me. Just thought I would show you those, and that's lovely. So I'm very excited about those. Not sure what colour I'm going to do all these little bits and things like that, but anyway, I shall complete it, as I say, and it'll be available either on my completed pages. Well, it will be in my completed pages, might also be available, excuse me, on my socials if it turns out nicely. We'll see. But thank you so much for watching. Yeah, I hope that you all have a really super day and happy colouring.